Jim and Lynda here. We are a husband and wife real estate team from Horizon, West Florida. If you're watching this video, then you're probably thinking about moving to Orlando.
That's right. Everyone seems to be moving to Florida or thinking about it. And really, out of all those people, everyone seems to want to move to Orlando. In this video, we're going to talk about the reasons that most people are choosing Orlando and the reasons that we hear most from the customers as they plan their move to this magical place.
And if you're thinking about moving to Orlando and want to find a safe community with good schools, shopping, close to Disney World, Horizon West should be at the top of your list.
To help you in your search, we've developed a quiz to show you a great fit based on your unique answers to the questions. Click the link in the description, and if you have more questions, please feel free to give us a call. So why is everyone moving to Orlando? I think reason number one, sunshine.
Yeah, sunshine was definitely up there on my list for sure. I like the sun.
Yeah, we moved from New Jersey, and how many months out of the year? 6 months out of the year, 4 months are gray, cloudy, overcast winter.
Yes, can't beat the sun. It's called the Sunshine State for a reason.
It's called the Sunshine State for a reason. It has an impact on your mental well-being.
It really does.
It really does. And not only that, but you can be active. You can be outside really all year round. It does get hot in the summer, but you could still make it all work.
It definitely gets hot in the summer, but Florida, we are equipped for that. So we have air conditioning, but there's so much to do year round because of the sunshine. And let's not forget Disney. I'm going to move on to that for my, because that probably was the number one reason why I wanted to move to Florida. I like Disney. I'm a Disney adult. Like it or not, that's who I am. And
it's just how it goes.
Yeah, we're right there. And it's not just Disney. We have Universal. We have, SeaWorld.
Yeah, so Orlando is cool because it's in Central Florida. It's really central to the entire state. You're within a couple hours of the Gulf Coast, the Atlantic coast. And right here in your backyard is where 70 or 80 million other people come to vacation every single year, with Disney World, with Universal Studios, with SeaWorld. There's so many conferences, so many activities. We've been here 4 years now, and there's an awful lot of the state we haven't seen yet.
There really is.
And really because we're within, well, now we live within 15, 20 minutes of Walt Disney World, and we can on a Friday night just jet over to Epcot and as we did last night and enjoy a quick walk around the world and grab dinner. And it's exciting, it's fun. It's a different lifestyle.
Not everybody has a theme park in their backyard.
Not everybody has a theme park in their backyard.
But if you're not a theme park fan or enthusiast, there are so many other things that you can do in Florida given the weather year round. I mean, it really is just in the Orlando area. You have golf courses, you have walking trails, hiking trails.
Yeah, so one of the other reasons why people are moving to Orlando or choosing this area is the outdoor lifestyle. There's so many things to do. We have not taken up pickleball like the millions of you out there may have, but we like to golf, and you can golf all year round. You can golf 365 days a year pretty much, unless there's rain.
Beautiful golf courses.
Beautiful golf courses throughout, and all kinds of different terrain, all great prices actually, comparatively, and lots of stuff to do. There are lakes and boating in the area. There's great fishing in the area. So a lot to do as far as outdoor activities.
Yeah, and I think Central Florida seems to be, because of that desire to be outdoor and enjoying all that the environment that we have here to offer, the communities are really built in a way to facilitate and encourage an active, healthy lifestyle as well.
Yeah, that's true. There's parks, there's community parks, there are trails for hiking and biking and walking and jogging and just taking stroller rides with the kids or walking your dog. Most of the communities in our area have dog parks in their community. Yeah. Playgrounds, basketball courts, pickleball courts, the community pool.
Which again, if you're getting confused or overwhelmed, the quiz is a great place to start, because based on what you're like, maybe you don't have a dog, you don't care if there are dog parks, but maybe you jog and you really want wide sidewalks. So there is, is a lot to think about, and it can get overwhelming. So if you want to go take that quiz, it'd be great.
That's right. So let's see. The next reason people are choosing Orlando would be affordability. Orlando has some of the most affordable real estate in Florida, and that's because the closer you get to the beach, the more expensive it is. And also the more expensive to insure, as we've seen with a lot of the unfortunate recent events with Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. There's been significant damage along our coastlines, and it's living in a tropical paradise, right? And some of the areas that we have enjoyed the most, like Anna Maria Island, Siesta Key, Sarasota, St. Petersburg, has been really heavily damaged, and our hearts are with all of those folks. Certainly as you get close to the beach, the cost of real estate, the cost of living is more expensive. So here in Orlando, we have a great variety, a great range of affordable housing, from townhomes.
And the paradise is not that far away.
Well, and I would argue the paradise is here.
Yeah.
Right? This is paradise. It's just not right on the ocean.
If you want to go to the beach, you can drive a couple hours and you're at the beach, or an hour and a half. How far is it from us for the beach? It's not that far, but for me, it gave me a good sense of safety because we were more inland.
We're more inland, which brings us to our next thing, which is a little bit of protection. Orlando being central in Florida, it's in the middle of the state. And so, really last week, what we did was watch the models of the hurricane and the path that the hurricane was going to take. And on Hurricane Helene, it went up, and it went up the Gulf Coast of Florida and made landfall in the Panhandle. Sometimes it's come from the Atlantic side, and it's gone across, or it's been lower. Typically, and what they would say on the news is that by the time the storm travels the hour and a half inland to us, it's going to disperse, it's going to be diffused. And in fact, for Hurricane Milton, it went from a Category 3 to a Category 1.
Most of the time, and that was bad, because most of the time it's just a tropical storm by the time it reaches us. And these are not frequent occurrences, but we know that it's on the top of thought for people that are watching videos right now, especially coming out of Milton.
Absolutely.
And so this is not a common occurrence, but it is something. We do have hurricane season, tropical storm season, but we rest assured knowing that we, where we've chosen to live here in the Orlando area, feel safer. In fact, people were evacuating to our area. People were, told to come and stay in the Disney resorts or any of the resorts or someplace that was off of the coast and far enough inland to keep them safe.
Yeah, and I think when you talk about affordability, and when a lot of people are considering the move to Florida, they're relocating from places like New Jersey or New York or maybe Illinois or Michigan, and you hear stories, or maybe you hear a little bit about the high expense for home insurance, or maybe that you can't even get home insurance. Of course you can get home insurance. And it is expensive, but moderately expensive. It's not necessarily 10 times more expensive than it is in other parts of the country. But especially for the Orlando area, it's going to be less expensive than it is in St. Petersburg. It's going to be less expensive than it is in, say, Melbourne Beach or Jupiter, because those areas are impacted more frequently by tropical storms, by hurricanes, just by the weather and by the damage. So where we are, being kind of outside of the path of Mother Nature's kind of destructiveness during this hurricane season, it leads to a little bit more affordability. It certainly leads to a little bit of a safer feeling.
Yes.
I think definitely a safer feeling.
It's interesting because we're talking about affordability even within Florida, but then if you go back to other parts of the world, when we moved from New Jersey, we were shocked by how much house we could afford here as compared to New Jersey. So that's one of the reasons people are definitely flocking to the Orlando
100%. And when you talk about affordability, you talk about, what's the average cost of a home And then not only what's the average cost of a home, but upkeep of a home, and the difference in taxes, the difference in utilities, the difference in commuting and those kinds of things, which is very different from where we came from in northern New Jersey, where the taxes are much more expensive, probably 10 to 15 times more expensive than they are here. And the cost of the home per square foot is much higher in New Jersey than it is here in Florida. So there's a lot to factor in.
Definitely.
Job growth.
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
Job growth is another big reason why people are moving to the Orlando area. It's become really a center for a lot of growing companies, a lot of emerging market type of things.
And everything is, there are new hospitals being built, there are new...
A lot of healthcare.
Yeah, a lot of healthcare.
A lot of technology. There's a lot of tech companies in the area and moving into Florida. Certainly with Disney and Universal, there's a lot in entertainment and hospitality. There's definitely a lot in the vacation kind of market with cruises, with timeshares, with just really all kinds of different things. And the job growth market is still pretty strong for remote work.
That's true.
Remote work is something that we saw really boom during the pandemic, where you could pretty much live anywhere. Companies have started to have employees want to come back into the office, but I think that's still a gradual process. And so there's quite a few people who have moved to the area in Orlando, in the suburbs here, that work remotely. They have great salaries with great jobs with companies that are located all around the country.
Many of the corporate jobs for Disney are hybrid, so they can do the offices, because it is just growing and expanding so much. So job growth is definitely something that is helping people. I think it also takes away some of the stress,
Yeah.
if you are wanting to relocate.
Yeah, there's a high demand for work, and there's a high opportunity to find work, which is terrific. The next one on the list, I know you didn't want to talk about, but really, we've seen tremendous migration, movement to Florida from all over the country, really over politics. And not necessarily politics per se, in a sense, but maybe some of the policies implemented by the government. And the Florida state government has been really pretty strong on freedoms and maintaining freedom. Certainly we moved during the pandemic and we experienced that. There was a lot of shutdown throughout the country in different areas. Florida was very open and still very free. And that's what really sparked this great migration into Florida.
Yeah, the funny thing for me is that Florida is so diverse that really whatever angle you're thinking, Florida is representative of it. So I do kind of love the diversity here.
Yes. Let's see, growing real estate markets. It's still an expanding market.
It's very interesting to me, because we have people that will be asking us,
how's the market?
How's the market? What's it like? Yeah.
Yeah. And with so much new construction still happening, the prices they're growing. The values are growing. It's accruing in equity and growth and all that kind of thing. And at the same time, it's just expanding so rapidly, right? And so we have new construction developments. We have, within those developments, we have townhomes, we have single family homes that are on the 12 to 1,500 square feet range. And then we have it all the way up to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet homes.
Yeah, I love the variety that there's available. And it's also not even just the new construction areas, but then we do have some areas of Orlando that are really rich in history and have the older home and the more mature greenery and trees. And so there's really not just a one-shot deal.
Yeah, and Orlando's big. When we talk about Orlando, we're talking about the whole Orlando metro area. And the Orlando metro area is big.
Yes.
You can, it would take about an hour to travel from one side of the Orlando Metro to the other, maybe a little longer than that even.
Yeah, probably.
And so when you consider Orlando and how big it is, it can be overwhelming. Once again, I'll reiterate, but we've put together a great quiz to try to help you understand, maybe get a feel for some neighborhoods or some suburbs, communities within the Orlando Metro to check out. And education is a big part of that. So that's our kind of our final, one of the reasons why everyone is moving to Orlando these days, but education. Orlando's within Orange County, so the schools are within the Orange County School District for public schools, and they're great. They're pretty highly rated. If you go to niche.com or you go to greatschools.com, any of the ratings, US News and World Report, you'll see that the Orange County schools score very highly, certainly within the communities that we work in and we explore in our channel. Communities like Winter Garden, Horizon West, Windermere, Oviedo, Winter Park, Lake Nona, Claremont. These are communities that have good school systems, good education, good private school systems.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
And our kids finished their high school careers here, but with the Florida Virtual School. And so remote learning and Florida Virtual is a great kind of component that is available to Florida residents here. The Florida Virtual School has been doing
They were one of the
school
first that
online for
started
20,
school
30
online,
years.
And they work with the public schools. So you're learning the same things. You get assigned a teacher for each subject. I can't speak highly of it enough. It was really helpful. I've never had teachers text me on my cell phone and just very good and communicative, and again, it just works with the public schools. The education is definitely, everyone asks about education, and I think it's great to close our video with the fact that that is definitely a reason that people are pulling to this Orlando area under that umbrella of Winter Garden, Windermere, Claremont, the cities that Jim just mentioned.
And I would say, we also have a lot of colleges in the area.
True.
There's some great colleges in the Orlando metro area. University of Central Florida, UCF is a great big school. Division I athletics. The campus is right near Winter Park and Oviedo. Just a great location. Rollins College is here in Winter Park. Great school. There's a number of kind of community schools. Valencia, Lake Sumter is in the greater Orlando metro area. So there are a lot of good higher education opportunities here in the area also. Coupled with that and the affordability, I think we're going to blend a few things, but
exactly.
The cost of college education for Florida residents is fantastic.
Yeah, that was one of the, I say Disney, and yes, Disney was definitely, but in-state tuition also for our kids.
The cost of in-state tuition being around $6,000 for a full year for tuition can't be beat. So as we wrap up, I think a couple other just kind of honorable mentions maybe for reasons people move to Orlando. It's a big city without being a huge big city. We have professional sports teams. The Orlando Magic play here, going all the way back to Shaq, which is kind of great.
It's not crazy driving either, I must say. I mean, it gets a little tricky, but you can drive into the city and have no, like city.
Yeah, it's not like city, like
Scary.
New York City.
I won't drive in New York City.
We have the Orlando City Soccer Club, speaking of city.
Yes.
Which are some of the best professional sports games. We're only about an hour and 20 minutes from Raymond James Stadium for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then we've got a bunch of other professional sports teams all throughout the state. But Orlando specifically has some really great things going for it. So if you'd like to check out, you want to know more about Orlando or why everyone's moving here, take a look at some of our videos. We have some good information out there for us. feel free to call or text or email. We have our link tree in the description below. You'll be able to see all of our communications. We'd love it if you got some value from this video, if you would click the like button, subscribe to our channel so we can get more information out there. And we look forward to meeting you.
Thanks for watching.
Take care.